to everyone, depending on where you're watching me from. Welcome to the Raging Hub Mic. Hope you are having a good weekend and a good week. Today we'll be discussing about the main issue on social media as of now, which is the FIRS and the France Tax Authority MOU as regards the new Nigerian Tax Reform Act. Suddenly or shockingly, on December 10th, it was revealed that the FIRS had an MOU with the France Tax Authority. It's the critics being hard on the FIRS. They quickly came out to claim it was more of a technical partnership. It wasn't about data sharing, but it was just about AI helping them collect revenue and then get into areas or train the staff as regards the new tax act that is going to take effect from January 1st. If you're watching me and you like what I'm doing, smash the like button, follow and subscribe. So first of all, you all know what we do here. We are going to debunk all the lies that the FIRS are saying one by one, and we're going to do it gradually. First of all, under the Nigerian Constitution, it is wrong. What they are doing is wrong under the Constitution, because the executive have the power to sign an MOU. Yes, they have the power to sign MOU. However, for any international agreement to have the force of law or to bind the country in a way that affects citizens' rights or existing laws, it must pass through the National Assembly. So what they just signed, no matter how they try to deny it, is going to affect the citizens' rights. Because we're talking about data, we're talking about individuals. You know what it means for our taxes? Everything we are doing to be in the hands of a foreign country, to be in the hands of another country. We always claim we are a sovereign country whenever we want it to be to our advantage. When the US talks, we say no, they can't tell us what to do. When it comes time for election, we claim because we want to do the election in a way that is not internationally accepted or is not up to international standard. We claim we are a sovereign country. So why are we not claiming we're a sovereign country right now? We're talking about having a foreign body share data, share information with our local tax collecting department or office, and we are saying it. We are not thinking about what we are doing, because what we are doing is wrong. Under the Constitution, it says, like I said, sharing of anything that has to do with the citizen rights is wrong. Now, if they continue to claim that no, what they are doing, they are not sharing data, nothing is being shared, it's just technical help or technical partnership, and I asked them, then why was it rushed? Nigerians were not notified of this. There was no advance warning. It just came out of the blue. It was just announced after the signing. Why was the signing rushed? Why weren't Nigerians informed? Why didn't we see this coming? Why did we see this coming when it was already signed? And now for you guys, I want to give you more context. Now, let's go with France. Do you know that France is Nigeria's? Do you know Nigeria is France's highest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa? Do you know that? Do you know that France also, on the other hand, is the third largest export destination for Nigeria? France is the third largest export destination for Nigeria, overtaking the US. Do you know that France, just in 2024-2025, in 1 year, France has bought more than 4.9 billion euros as regards trade from Nigeria? And what are these items? Crude oil makes up 90% of this item. So Nigerian crude oil, 90% of that goes to France. What do Nigeria buy from France? Nigeria buys pharmaceutical materials, machinery, and then refined oil from France, accounting for $665 million from France. Meanwhile, France buys from Nigeria, accounting for 4.5 billion euros. So you see that France already is Nigeria's highest trading partner, or Nigeria is France's highest trading partner already. And we signed an MOU with this same country that we already have large volume of trade with. So do you see any sign? Do you see anything conspicuous? Now, not just that. Why is it not being transparent? Can we see the MOU? Why is it hidden? Why is it not made public? If really it's about technical partnership, why is it not on the daily news? Because I don't see why a government can sign. This is not about national security that they always claim, oh, we can't make it public. This is about transparency. So why can't we see this MOU that was signed? Why are we just seeing the pictures? So what is France getting in return? So France will just give Nigerian technical support without getting anything in return? So what is the French government going to get? At least in international trade, you rub my back, I rub your back. So what is France going to get in return? Are we going to pay them? How are they going to be compensated for their time? And now you ask all these questions. They rushed to pass this law. The staff of the FIRS were not trained. Because if really it's just technical reports or technical support, then this tax law wouldn't have been rushed. Would have taken 1 year, would have taken 2 years, would have taken 3 years to gradually transition to whatever we want, to the new tax system. But we rushed everything in a matter of months. After passing the law, we find out that our FIRS are not equipped to handle it. So if we knew we wanted to change into this system, why weren't the staff equipped beforehand? Let's ask tough questions. Why do we rush, sign the law, or sign the bill, or pass the bill that makes it a law effective from January, only to find out that the FIRS cannot handle it, then to get France? The staff or whoever would have handled this would have been started training long time ago, and it would have been more gradual. We would have taken 2 years, 3 years to transition. But what you are seeing is that the law, the bill has been passed, and then all of a sudden we can't handle it, we get France. The same trading partner that has bought products from us in a calendar year, one calendar year, amounting to 4.5 billion, that is $5.1 billion. $5.1 billion. All of a sudden, we become their number one trading partner in the whole sub-Saharan Africa. This is the same partner that is now going to give us technical support in order to collect our revenue, our tax. The Nigerian constitution makes it clear that it is only the federal government that should collect the revenue. All this technical support, technical whatever, is just giving it some names. We all know that's not what it is. If it is what it is, then let us see the document. Let us see what was signed. Only thing we saw was them take pictures. What are they hiding? Now, also, we are talking about data sovereignty versus technical aid. The FIRS claims is technical and knowledge sharing. That is the MOU, is technical knowledge sharing. Yet, it can be argued that if France can see the trends, transfer pricing, and profit shifting patterns of our top companies, they gain strategic advantage in trade and diplomacy. We're already their biggest trading partner in Africa, and they are going to see our tax trends, profit. And yet, our leaders don't think we're a sovereign country. But when it comes to election, they realize we're a sovereign country. When it comes to taxing, they outsource our taxing to a foreign country. And they make us weak. They sit down there and tell a foreign country to come and collect this revenue, because that is what they are doing. If that is not what they are going to do, can we see the MOU? We're challenging them. Let's see the MOU. Let's see what was stated. We can't just hear from them, from the PR. That is just PR. They're trying to spin the narrative. But when it's time for election, when it's time for them to conduct election in an acceptable manner, in an internationally accepted manner, they don't shady elections, and they claim we're a sovereign country. No one can interfere in Nigerian election. So no one can interfere so that they can remain in power, so that they can continue appointing whoever they want to appoint in the name of election. But when it comes to revenue, we are no longer sovereign. We don't have the inputs. We don't have the machinery. We don't have the human capital to collect our taxes. But we have the human capital. We have the input. We have the machinery to conduct shady elections. Make it make sense. When it comes to national security, for us to call for aid or help in order to fight terrorism, we're a sovereign country. No one can interfere. But in taxing, we're not sovereign. We need technical aid. These politicians are taking us for a ride. I'm not even going into a lawmaker representative, Dasuki of Sokoto State, claiming that the Gazette, that what was passed in the National Assembly wasn't what was being circulated by the Ministry of Information. That is an entirely different story on its own. That's a different topic. Because you have them, National Assembly, passing another law, passing something else, but maybe the Ministry of Information have another document. So who did they deceive? What happened? Is there a mix-up? So how come the National Assembly or the member of the National Assembly is claiming that what was passed? And you know how it's not even rigorous. They can pass anything they want in the National Assembly. The National Assembly has become a branch of the executive. It's no longer independent. It's no longer independent. It was independent to hold the executive to account, to hold the executive accountable, to make the executive at least to consider. So it's no longer independent. Just the executive just tells them what to pass. But at least it goes through first, second, third reading before it is passed. But all of a sudden, what is passed is not what is being circulated by the Ministry of Information. So what was signed? Is it the same thing that the National Assembly passed? Or is it a different document? And this is why we are asking them to make it public. We have the right to see this MOU. This is about our taxes. It's not about this. It's not about what government is borrowing. Even if they are borrowing money, this is about you and I taxes. It's about our income. It's about our money. So we have the right to demand to see what they will sign. What did they sign? Are they selling us out? Now, you all know that Nigeria has one of the most vibrant fintech ecosystems in Africa. We have Paystack, we have Flutterwave, we have InterSwitch. A major point of contention is why is Nigeria partnering with the European power for digital tax infrastructure instead of local firms? Why? I thought we all talk about local content. I thought we all talked about empowering national companies. Why are we going all the way to France when we have independent companies that can help us handle this? Yes, they might not be as sophisticated as France, but at least our data will not be in a foreign country's hand. So why won't it create a technological dependency on France for the collection of Nigerians' sovereign wealth? This is coming at a time France is having problems, regional problems with some former colonies, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, to the extent that they've sent the French soldiers packing from their country. They're no longer aligning with France, but Nigeria is now aligning, not just aligning, our raw data, our spending patterns, our income could be in a foreign land, and our leaders are not talking about our sovereignty. They're not talking about our national security, because if another country has that data, you're no longer secure. This is not even about cyber security. It's about all the yearly information in another country's tax department. Let's hold our leaders accountable. Let's demand that the National Assembly pass a motion, not a resolution, because resolution is not binding. Let them pass a motion that this transition be stopped and need to be investigated before we can continue. Let our voices be heard. We cannot be silenced. Thanks. Have a nice one. Join me next time.